Okay, so my multimeter, uh, I took it all apart, but I forgot that there were a couple extra parts that I wouldn't know how to put together. So um, something had made its way through disabling contacts. But after I took it apart, I remembered that there's this ball bearing and springs that they use for pressure. Oops, was that a third one or was that a screw? There shouldn't be a third one. And so this rotating dial, the rotating dial was working and the screen was responding, but none of my connections were working. I couldn't get the continuity to tell you when two pieces of metal were touching. It wouldn't go off no matter what I did until I took it apart, and then I put batteries back in it and I kind of slid it around and then it started working. So now to fix that vacuum with my multimeter, I gotta go ahead and clean off my multimeter and put it back together, and hopefully we get that back in working order. The only confusing part really is this one black piece that I don't know if it goes into the I think it fits right in here, but then you got to make sure that you can still fit your light bulb in there as well. So you don't have too much room to work because the cord's kind of small. But basically, you build into this and then stack the back on. So here's where the springs would go with the ball bearings, and it keeps the dial from rotating and feeling kind of gives you a little feedback. So you got those little dials, and it makes that clicking noise. Click, 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 click. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, ball bearing. Nope, I lost the ball bearing. Okay. Let's hold this ball bearing in and drop that other one. And one of the coolest things is that a lot of displays use a little conductive piece, and this piece are little lines. They act like wires and they go straight up and down. So to connect this to the display to actually get readings, you'd put the rubber on these little contacts, and then it will connect your display, which I find kind of interesting. So now that the ball bearings are there, so you got all these divots. So I don't know, maybe that's like the oil too. So maybe some gunk came in, or maybe these just came unaligned. So I'll go ahead and put that back together, but I gotta wipe all these parts off first. But I don't want to use anything like too greasy. I actually want, I don't know. Let's just go have fun. See, it looks like there's like these white parts. I don't know if that's from like soldering. Usually it's from like water damage. Could be the leftover resin. But now, once this meter gets together, I can try and fix that vacuum. Make sure there's power going to it. Make sure that there's power going to the motor. Making sure there's power going to the motor, and that the motor can work itself.